Scott, thank you very much for the handoff. How is my audio coming in, since I think it's the two of us today, right?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. You sound
Okay,
fine.
perfect. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us for our Q&A webinar. Before we begin, I'm going to quickly start off with the legal spiegel. Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. Please understand that all information you're going to hear from myself, Scott, or anybody affiliated with Trade Ideas at any time is strictly for educational and informational purposes only, not to be construed as investment advice. Okay, so let's have some fun, guys. Once again, I want to really thank you for taking your time during the day, spending it with me. This is me flying solo. Brad is on vacation, a very well-deserved vacation. My goodness, I was on vacation. Again, this is what we do. We do human stuff, but I want to talk about real quick our October 20th event. It's going to bleed right into our discussion we're going to have today, which talks about psychology. And Dr. Brett Steenbarger is really going to be one of the headliners in the middle there, who talks about the psychological aspects of success as it relates to investing. Very important stuff and not discussed enough. And we're going to be talking about that, as well as how Trade Ideas contributes to the net benefit by embedding this stuff into the software. So that's October 20th. You can get tickets at TradeIdeasEvent.com. So for those of you who have been on our Q&As, and I'm going to, of course, give you guys opportunities to ask questions and everything. What I'd like to do is kind of start off with the more important, out-of-the-way announcements. We've talked about the fact that we're shooting for a December 22nd, 2020 IPO. Again, you never know, because who knows what will happen, but that's the idea that we're trying to go for. And if that happens, we are including all of you guys in on the journey with us by giving our subscribers a piece of the action by allocating some shares that we're going to float to the people who have contributed to our success. The longer you've been with us, the more shares you would get. And of course, that works just the same way for affiliates. So that's an opportunity for everyone to net positive in a liquidity event if that ends up taking place. Man, are the old school guys trying to talk me out of it. But nonetheless, that's the plan. So that gives you kind of a not only a stock information, Bloomberg kind of reason to get in. We believe we're the best stock market data in the world, but also a net wealth effect, because if we can do this together, then everybody wins. So the next thing is the slide you're seeing right here, and it's Trade Ideas Pro, brokerage plus strategy, automation, and execution. Maybe one of the more important announcements that I'm going to make today. So let's all pay attention. Trade Ideas, of course, not only comes with the analytics that you guys all see, but it comes with the ability to execute these analytics through right-clicking and sending those orders via an API connection through this thing that we call Brokerage Plus, because brokerage and Trade Ideas, you get the plus. Through interactive brokerage, and lets you send the orders you see right to the market. And what you're seeing here is a picture, of course, we're on a slide, of what Brokerage Plus looks like. Now, we've had Brokerage Plus in beta for probably over a year and a half now, and we're continuing to work on it. But what I really want to make sure you guys know is that things are heating up. We're making big progress in the area of Brokerage Plus. And what that means is it will soon come out of beta. These are huge announcements because there's mind-boggling ramifications for all of you and us. Number one, automating Holly gives anybody the dexterity to try anything. And since we know that there are people with money, those people can say, okay, I'm going to open up an IB account and let Holly trade for me as much as Holly is able to trade and as effectively as it all happens. Again, this is already happening. People ask us, well, Dan, what's going to happen? This is already taking place. When people see the signals, they place their orders, and the signals compete with, other information in the market, and you guys sort of see what's been going on. But the idea here is we're going to really take it to that other level where you will not have to be somebody who is a gamer to be able to do it. You will say, hey, software, I've been successful. I've made some money for myself. Now, let's see if you can help me put that money to work. It just lowers the barrier. And it's going to do so many of the things that we're going to discuss on the rest of this presentation that relate to strategy, emotions, and things like that. But what I wanted to point this out for is that there's a very important marketing component as it relates to all of you guys and information that you need to know. While Brokerage Plus is in beta, everybody who has access to it is grandfathered into it being free. That's how we work. So if you are a premium subscriber, and I believe that's what you have to have for Brokerage Plus, you right now do not pay anything for it. You sign up, you have access to it, and it's done. In the future, as soon as it gets out of beta, the software will cost $1,100 one time. So there's this big incentive right now until we announce the release date, and it most likely will be somewhere around January 1. Something to that effect. Could be earlier, could be December. But you have this time to get all of this for free. Scott's going to be communicating all of this information through emails, and of course we're going to have it on the website as well. But you really ought to know this because so many things that are related to your success are involved. So for those of you that are new to Trade Ideas, I'm showing you pictures of our software, Trade Ideas Pro. Brad did such a nice job of creating these slides while I was on vacation. I just feel like I want to use them. They're so pretty. Notice how we make the data pop out. So Charles, right now it's going to be just Interactive Brokerage because that's who we have worked with. But eventually, when the brokers start paying, then we'll go to everyone. It's going to be $1 million access fee for the big boys. And that's just to see how long they want to play. Because in essence, we believe that Interactive Brokerage paid for that by letting us do what we needed to do. So that's going to be how it is right now. IB will have the primary spot all through doing nothing. These are the windows. Top lists, multi-strategy, and alert windows. Some of them are synced to a time offset, in other words, a ticker, like a time, so they happen in real time and you get a time notification. Others are like a wave that happens every 30 seconds. A wave passes, and like in that biggest pullbacks on winners, you see, okay, now here's what's going on. And what's cool about our software is that everything you see, you can sort it. Here, that window that's called biggest pullbacks on winners is sorted on the 30 minutes percent change, allowing you to see which stocks that are going up have pulled back the most. And that hopefully gets you right into that mindset of either direction. That's the whole idea, is being open. We're going to really talk about that quite a bit, the whole openness and nature of the ability for you to profit from anything that happens. Visualization, key component. So this slide is important, everyone, because before I dive into the software, and I don't want it to move, we're kind of focus you on the lines here. Every chart that you see on Trade Ideas comes pre-set up with line identification points that are your internal navigation guideposts. One is set up to a swing exit, one is set up to a smart stop, and one is set up to a profit target. So what does this mean? Well, what this means is that people have often asked us, Dan, if your AI was going to trade stock XYZ, in this case AQB, how would it trade it? We thought that that's a fantastic question, and although we could not possibly force the AI to get into any stock that you look at, we decided to put the AI in the awkward position of having to be in it already, meaning that it has no choice, it's already in it, we threw you in it, okay? Well, once we did that, we said, okay, well, how would the AI play defense? So just a defensive position. You pull up any stock and instantly it will tell you, assuming, for example, if you guys can see my mouse, assuming that you're right now right at the $3 area, this dotted line called the smart stop, and although we can't see the number, but you can imagine it's like, let's say 350 or something like that, or maybe, I'm sorry, not the 275, okay? That's the area where it says, you know, I could get into this if I believed in it at 3, but I would get out right here. And then someone would ask the question, okay, I get what you're saying. You'd get out right there, but what if you were in it for the long term? So now Holly has to rethink the situation, and she'll say, okay, I'm going to ignore my smart stop for a minute, and I'll give you what I would say if I was in it long term, my swing exit. And here it is. And all of these numbers, as you will see when I demonstrate, are automatically generated by the software. In addition, if you are fortunate enough to get immense tailwinds, the software also suggests, hey, if you're going to take a little off the table, this could be a nice place, because look at all the past struggles. Boom, struggled, 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 struggled. There could be a high chance of struggling. Bring your umbrella and profit taking. So you guys, does that make sense? Do you guys get what I'm saying there? Okay. Now, this is the picture of our artificial intelligence, and what I kind of love about this, and I'll dive into the actual software, is that in the span of a very short amount of time, we've already changed the interface, and I'll show you guys what it is. But the thing here is that all of these things that you see are signals. The stock symbols are all signals that you could be trading. And the idea is that if you had the money, you would take them all, but you take what you can based on the capital that you have. And on that note, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to minimize the presentation, or go get out of presentation mode and minimize this and go to today's data. So to kind of show you guys, how did this information that I just showed you in the presentation translate into real life today? So many of you, Mike could do this presentation. I know this for a fact. So could Waleed and many other of you guys. I'm grateful for the time that you give me and listen to what we have to say. Love that you guys are here. AGI, we talk about the early bird gets the worm. The market works on what's called a smile curve. In other words, as it opens, it like explodes into the open, like every stock starts to trade and there's this big tumultuous stuff going on. And then that volatility kind of instantly starts to die down as it, troughs at lunch and then starts to pick up to the close, where it again, as we get right into the close, there's more volatility. And that's what's called the market smile curve. But a lot of orders that are super impactful tend to take place earlier in the morning. That's why it's called the early bird gets the worm. Look at these percentages. So this was Holly Neo, one of our AIs, that was up $2.62 today. And if you look at the trades, number one, love the distribution of the winners to the losers. That's kind of what we talk about. I'm going to really emphasize some things about the color blue here. We can talk a little bit about that. But I'm just trying to show you, number one, if you don't know, these are the percentage gains that were acquiesced today. Let's look at AGI. Okay. Number one, a 6.9% move in a small stock like this that traded 2 million shares. It's called the godsend, because it really lets somebody with relatively, I don't want to say minuscule is not the right word, but certainly not aggressive financial ability reap unproportional financial benefits. Because a person for a $4 stock, you can trade this at 10,000 shares, easy, at a 2 million share volume. Now, that doesn't mean in and out, but in today, what I want to go through here is 2 examples of 2 trades that you could have done and what we discuss often. So are you guys ready to strap in your seatbelts? We're going to go into taking action 101. First thing I want to say, number 1, all of these trades, every single trade, and I've mentioned this many times, that the AI takes has long-term implications. In other words, when the AI tries to give you a buy signal, it's not HFT trading, it's not trying to game some sort of data-driven arbitrage, data-driven like network. It's not game. It's speculating better. It's saying, hey, I'm reading supply and demand better than you. Now notice in this AGI, it tried it before a few days right here. But so far, that did not work. Well, it worked here, but AGI has come back. This is why we have all of the risk measurements in place. Okay, and if I actually zoom out a little bit, let me see here. Yeah, that's what all these numbers are for. They're for the point of reference. So the software had already tried to pick a bottom in this Alamos Gold, because that's what it was trying to do. And it had some, but then there was this pullback, which happens. You can't predict the market. You can only react to it. And we've said this from day one. We're not about predicting, but situational awareness. Here, all of a sudden, the software picks up what it sees as an accumulation pattern. It notifies you at 4:24. This is the line right here. Boom, notification, AI pattern. It goes from here to 4:38. Okay, so it's up 10 cents. And remember, these are 5-minute bars. So you can kind of count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So in an hour's time, there was only 7 cents of a gain. That's called risk off. So see this line right here? That's where the software said, okay, if you want to be more conservative, this is where I exit. So we get out. Boom, we're not in the stock anymore. But we right-click right here and we create a price alert. And we would say, again, I'm just kind of retro-filling this for your mind so you can see what I'm doing, because it's really not difficult. So I'm going to get in again. And I'm going to call this enter. Again, risk on. Okay, so this right here is the top. So in other words, we're pretending that we're here. We're still in this signal, right? But then it pulled back. So now we're watching, and we notice that it crosses here again. In other words, it's saying, hey guys, that signal that we were in, it's still valid. So we're back, risk on. And in this particular case, now this price becomes our stop. Okay, we're just moving it up. And that's what you saw today. That was how the biggest winner looked like. Not all of them are, of course, like this, because that's impossible, but there's certainly some similarities. Let's take a look at this example right here. Same thing. I'm going to take some profits, timed exit. You can't control it. 8 cents in an hour. So you get out, re-enter. Now this is your stop, and here you are. That is the flow of the trades. Are there any questions? Was I going too fast? Does that make sense for you guys? What I'm trying to go through is a little bit of what it would be like if you were watching the AI trade this for you. In other words, I'm showing you what's coming. Any questions? Man, you guys are quiet. I must be just overwhelming everyone. I love it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, okay, thank you, David. I'm going to talk about what happens. Wally, that's awesome. I can't read that, because I read like a fifth grader, but I love that. So yes, everyone read what Waleed is saying. My biggest fan. So the colors. Why do we have these blue colors? Very quickly. Now, of course, you could also go with the green, but the idea is kind of simple. These are the stocks that are at or in the money. So no, Holly, Wani, no, I'm not saying override. I'm talking about how people trade around the Holly experience, and I'm showing you what we made these things for. So imagine you're a doctor, a lawyer, somebody who has a career who doesn't simply just sit there at the market all day long. And you come in, and let's say you press this AI, and you say to yourself, okay, man, what should I get into? Well, these are the color spectrums that are there to help you do that. You get into the blues or the greens. The idea is that these are the ones that are working. Now, you cannot control where you're going to get into it, obviously, but the odds are this is where the prevailing winds are. So we just did this to make it easier for people to visualize, and there's more to it, though. These are your stops, and in an aggressive system, these stops can be used as counter entries. So Charles, market makers don't see our stops because we don't put them in the systems. They don't stay there. Since we use server-side technology, all of the stops are only generated once our software sees them. So you're not sitting there with your pants down, sorry ladies, while everyone's watching what you're doing. That's the whole notion too, is that we've always thought that was ridiculous, how if you're going to be putting your orders out there, they're available for everyone to see. This way it's all just gets put in when the proper thing happens, because our software is server side and watches the market. Okay, so you follow we say follow the blue rabbit. Here it is. That's what it looks like. Now here, imagine you come in into the morning, you're looking at your pre-market, and you see what's going on. We talk about how we this is the channel that you're on right now, and I'm on an advanced version, which is why you don't see the on button. But the idea is that for everything in the market, there's a channel. So here you can have a pre-market that you come into to see what's gapping up. As soon as the market opens, any one of these, from Alpha Predator to, they're going to show you, these channels are designed by us ahead of time to help you see kind of the coolest information. Look at this. So this stuff is supposed to point you into the direction where, simply put, the big hedge funds aren't looking because this is too small for them to look. They're afraid of this stuff. These guys, they've been polluted into like, well, if it's not trading 10 million, why would I even get into it? Because that would require work. So imagine here, they left it for the little guy. We right click, we say create a price alert. So now we say, looks amazing. Notice this is not talking about any crazy systems or like crossovers, just simply visualization. It's what it works for me. This works for me. This might work for you, more confirmation. But the idea here is you see something, you like it, you notify yourself of it, you can add it to something that you like, which means that this monitor will track it even if you don't put any alerts for it. So now here are all the things that I've been keeping an eye on whilst talking to all of you guys. Dang. So, can I just say, look, this here, what I love about working with Trade Ideas software, and I hope Scott is enjoying the show, so to speak, is that there is zero way that I would have known ever that Tandem was going to come up, and I certainly had no idea of the beauty that we were doing in Tandem. But you ask yourself, these guys, are they in it for the long term, or are they in it for the short term? Can I tell you, could I possibly, if I was a good marketer, which I'm not, I have Scott for that, but could I have asked for a better representation of skill exemplitude. Look at this, guys. This is what you must look at for yourself and understand that it doesn't really get any better as a proof case. Like here they were, long term, they showed it to us here. They showed it to us here again. They showed it to us here again. And here it is. We're talking from 5 to 48. In stock parlance, this is what they call a 10 bagger. Please Google it. 10 bagger is a word that you'll find out about because the old hedge fund guys, this is the dream. Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah all rolled up into one delicious morsel nugget. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we are about, ladies and gentlemen. And I love that I didn't know it was coming. So Tandem, what a beauty. Okay. So if these are stocks that I just myself have been following, and so has the AI, and you can look at it in various different ways. And here's the one that I showed you guys where now it's on this page. So I can sort this. You know, I can sort this by stuff that's interesting to me. Oh, by the way, here's a long-term sell signal for something that went from 4 to 21 cents. I mean, I'm not saying you would have held either, but I'm saying in terms of return, from 4 to 21 cents is quite a nice return. We go both ways, and I don't mean that in a flippant sense. How about this one? This just shows you that it doesn't always make it easy for you, but keep an eye out. These are the kind of things where you can always take notes on Holly trades. Hey, Holly says sell, keep a note on it. Right click, set a price alert. That's what Brad was showing you in the slides. Scott does a lot. But this is the navigation system, ladies and gentlemen, that takes it to another level. I was today in Barry's room, and I'm going to jump back into the presentation real quick. Where did it go here? Okay, so because I don't want to keep everybody a long time. My stuff is to the point. This slide right here was kind of an example of what I was doing, which means that you can do this with anything. You can quickly see a pattern that you visually like, not some crazy formula of some indicator that somebody else did, but just visually what appeals to you. Trust yourself. That's what we teach. That's what you learn to rely on with our technology, and that's how you elevate yourself. You learn to trust your own eyes through our technology, and you then see what Holly sees. One of the ways that we contribute to the market is by Barry's room, and I was in there today, and I don't always speak while Barry's away, but I had some fun with everybody in there, and that's the kind of thing that we also do. We're not just a business that's sucking subscriptions. We're a group of people that love what we do. This is our art form. This is what we enjoy because we're so good at it, and we keep seeing our customers do good at it. Like Waleed, I'm telling you guys, that guy's not really nice. Oh yeah, you have to really convince him. And I joke, but it's true. You can't fake this because I'm showing it to you, and we do have something that nobody else in the world has. And the beautiful aspect of that is that you guys are here to see it. This is all happening in real time, and part of it, of course, is the community element that Barry brings to the table. And this is the link, trade-ideas.com/trading room. I'm going to be there tomorrow, probably talking about something crazy, but good. I want to reiterate the fact that our summit, very important, and we would love to see you in person. We, as a company that is mostly online, of course, we have the curriculum, the education, everything that Scott's doing. But we would love to see you in person, and our events is a way for people to do that. So please, if you can, join us. The stuff that I mentioned in terms of Dr. Brett Steenbarger in the middle is really the stuff that I described with the lines. and what the AI does. It's all embedded, and we're going to be talking more about that. Emotion is unfortunately your enemy. The way you assign value to outcome, positive and negative, it is very good for running away from saber-toothed cats possibly, but not good for speculation against other advanced speculators. And this is what we talk about. We will be live streaming the event, I'm pretty sure. I think Scott knows that part. But I really want everyone that is able to come check it out, TradeIdeasEvent.com. Very important, lots of good speakers, and this is where you get to meet the team. Jamie and myself have been doing the podcast, and we've been talking about a lot of the esoteric elements of the stock market, the things that really take it to that other level. And it also gives you more of a flavor of who we are. It's not that we're different there, it's just that we cover topics in a different way. And I love being able to communicate to our audience this way. I hate having to dress up or dress down things. I'm the kind of guy that believes it's so silly that we actually have to put a slide out there, disclaiming stuff, This is the stuff that we're trying to fix with Trade Ideas at the end of the day. Sean McLaughlin, one of our educators and members of the team, has created a really good educational book that's free, trade-ideas.com ebook about what happens when the market stops going up. And that doesn't mean that we're bearish. It just means that you want to make sure you're aware that there's the hidden 50%. There's the yin, there's the yang. The market goes up, it does come down. And I've mentioned this at my other Q&As that from 2000 to 2017, and we are only in 2018. So from 2000 to 2017, the market was not up or, well, it was down for a long time, but then it just crawled back to even an 18-year trough. Now imagine that you are somebody at the age of like 45 and you're like, hey man, coming in the market 2000, woo, millennium, killing it. And now here you are, nothing happened for 18 years. Okay, you're like in your 60s now. And what you gonna do? So we are talking about that's about the truth, the controlling it your own way. Stop relying on other people's bullshit and stop believing fantasies like buy and hold. Buy and hold only works one way, when it's up. And I always do this. So that's the link. When you click on it, that's where you go. These marketers are good. They get me. So we are a subscription-based service. I'm sure you guys know. And Waleed is already subscribed again, and we're going to have to refund him again. It's like every time we have a Q&A webinar, so many people resubscribe because they love what I do. Scott, too. Scott, stop subscribing. But this is how much our artificial intelligence costs on a per-day basis. To give you a comparison that, of course, you can see once you go to the website, trade-ideas.com/price. For being here and listening to my wisdom/nonsense, there's a promo code FALL4ALPHA, all caps, which will give you 15% off the first month or Trade Ideas of the year for the year. And again, it's think about the daily. We are Starbucks, we're your Subway sandwich, and we did this because we did it all ourselves. We run the leanest ship. Very easy to get a hold of us. If you are into the non-normal, follow me on Twitter at TradeIdeas1, but that's like not for the faint of heart. And then, of course, our very nice corporate account is at Trade Ideas. And please like us on Facebook. And should you need anything, be in touch. We always answer. I'm glad that we were able to keep it relatively short and sweet. Scott, how do we do? Are we all set?
Sounds good. Yeah, everyone also remember to check out TradeIdeasEvent.com. If you can make it to San Diego, right now the tickets are only $118 each. They double in price after the 15th, so you have until this Saturday to get in at basically half price. Check out what's going on. So TradeIdeasEvent.com, the information's there. You can easy to get a ticket if you can make it. We'll see you on the 20th.
It'll be awesome. And as Scott said, this isn't designed to be some sort of, traders expo. It's kind of more selective, invitation only, because we're not salesmen, and this is more of like, hey, let's talk about how we can work together. We're already assuming you're with us. So that's why.
It's over half sold out already, and we have to cap the room at 90 total. So, get in on the early bird pricing now and make your hotel. Oh, you can also, if you do buy a ticket, you'll get an email follow-up with a special rate code for the Kimpton Hotel across the street, so you can get a discount on your room at the Kimpton. It's a nice hotel.
I'll be holding court there. Believe me, it'll be fun. Scott, thank you for helping out.
Yeah, thanks all. We'll have a recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder about how to find it. Thanks, Dan.
David, in terms of the transferable tickets, I'm not sure what you mean, Scott. Transferable tickets, what does that mean?
Don't know what he means, but you can get a refund up until 7 days before the event.
Okay, gotcha. And again, if you have other questions, just shoot us an email at info@trade-ideas.com. Scott, thank you for having my back. I will talk to you soon.
Thanks all. Bye.